Uh, would you ever consider taking a psychedelic such as LSD or shrooms? Yes. Not that I want to or I'm about to. I mean, I'm the same guy who like dreads drinking episodes, but Joe Rogan makes them sound like permanent mind improving experiences. He makes it sound like that trip will open your eyes to new thought processes. Like you know how people take steroids and then they get off it, but they're still better than they would have ever been without those steroids, right? Like you know, like you went from on a scale of 1 to 10, you went to a 10 and now you're only an 8, but you weren't going to be an 8 if you never did roids. He makes LSD seem like that. I might be getting my drugs mixed up, but whatever. These mind enhancing ones, and it has me curious. It has me curious. Not that I'm about to drop shrooms, but I'm just like, what would this trip do to my perspective on life? What would having this trip do? Like, would it open me up to new thought processes and perspectives and values?
I don't know. Like, I do know, though, that as the occasional viewer to the Joe Rogan Experience, it seems that he would be an 18th century snake oil salesman's wet dream. You know, where they just be like, come on down to Steve's Magic fucking wagon. You got polio, typhus, AIDS, malaria, cholera, smallpox. Come on down. It all takes care of it. No issue. You know, and then, oh, come on. Oh, what's this called? It's called a nootropic. Oh, you do take this, lay in a bath. Don't move in the bath. Just lay there. Close your eyes. Make sure you stay about 30 minutes. Put a lot of salt in it so you're floating high.
ONNIT on it.
ONNIT on it.com. Look up that in 150 years when it gets invented. No, but like that, I don't think that. I mean, I like Joe Rogan a lot. He seems like a genuinely good guy, but he also seems to go like whole hog into any kind of theory at all. Like he had a guy on, and I listened to part of it, and he's a doctor, but he's like a surgeon kind of doctor. Okay. And he only eats meat. He's a carnivore. And he was talking about how like, oh, I feel so much better. Like I feel great. You know, I look better. I lift weights all the time. You know, and Joe's like, all right, yeah. Do you have any blood work for that? You've been eating nothing but meat for a year? And the guy's like, nah, I'm feeling fine. And it's like, dude, you haven't had a vitamin in 12 months, like other than B. Like what else do you get from meat?
I feel like Rogan gets a bad spin. It seems to me that he's very open-minded, obviously. So that does mean that he is perceptible to some nonsense. Like there was a while where he believed in Bigfoot, right? And there was a while when he believed the moon landing was faked. But then he as Eddie Bravo would say, looked into it, and he's like, clearly there's no fucking Bigfoot. Yes. Like I went and I did a whole show with people who thought there was Bigfoot. I hung out with those people. I talked to those people. Those people are crazy. All right? They see a bit of brown fur in the woods, and then they'll start describing this thing's like orangutan-like face. Okay,
that
these people are just
who lives in the wild thinks Bigfoot's real. What's his name? Les Stroud?
Yeah, Les Stroud. Yeah, he believes in Bigfoot. He claims that he saw it once. And look, it's hard to like. There's someone who would recognize a bear walking on its hind legs, right?
He doesn't seem like a crazy person, but
exactly.
2. He often spends times in the woods, I mean to say, diminished, right? You know, he hasn't had proper nutrition for 5 days, 7 days, 14 days. He's been surviving off of like water and the foam seat from a snowmobile for 11 days now. And he's, So
the interesting thing about Bigfoot, I guess so Gigantopithecus, I've learned from the Joe Rogan Experience, was an actual, primate that lived, I don't recall exactly how long, like 10,000, 15, 20,000 years ago or something like that. It's like an 8-foot tall fucking ape that looks like what everyone describes as Bigfoot. And then they talk about how the Native Americans had like 20 words for the Sasquatch or whatever. That's all interesting sort of evidence, if you can even call it that. But look, somebody would have shot that motherfucking thing by now. I'm gonna tell you right now, if I were hunting and I saw a Bigfoot, I'm not even taking like people talk about seeing deer and they're like, yeah, I counted the points before I shot it, or like, yeah, it was an 8-pointer, but I wasn't able to shoot. I was like, you took the time to count? Why weren't you shooting it in the heart? I have never once seen a big like I always know those people are lying. They're like, yeah, I saw the biggest buck ever. It was a 14 point, about 22 inches wide. And I was like, why didn't you shoot it? Well, I was counting the. No, that's not what you do. You fucking shoot it in the heart immediately. Like that's how hunting works. So, if a hunter had seen Bigfoot, I'm telling you, and if I'm hunting and I see a Bigfoot, I'm blowing it the fuck away because I'm gonna be the guy that shot Bigfoot. That son of a bitch is getting mounted in my house, and you're gonna have to pay the price to come see it. I'm gonna be on Nat Geo
Barnum
and fucking
Bailey over here.
CNN.
But are you gonna do
Oh
LSD?
my god! What?
That was the question. LSD.
Oh
would
yeah,
you
the
do it?
hallucinogen question. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, it's
No?
illegal.
On the
Prob-
I forgot who I was
If they
talking
if they
to.
ever
Kyle
made
would
it
never
legal,
partake.
yeah,
No.
if they ever made it legal, I would try it. But I have no desire to seek out any of that stuff and try
Yeah.
it. I was more being teasy towards Joe Rogan. Like when you talk to people who have done shit like that, they always say like, "Oh, it makes you so much more open-minded and changes your perspective." So who knows? Maybe they're right. But I've also talked to people who are like, "No, that's not true. I just saw weird shit and the walls were breathing and then I vomited and felt awful." So who knows?
What's
If it were legal, would you try it, Kyle?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.